the 70s how deadly DU was. Their own Army manuals in the 90s said it was completely devastating and would kill anybody that used it. It would take a few decades to kill them. But now they just serve it out to all the troops and say, no health problems, don't worry about it. They are normalizing this program of extermination and control. They are doing this out in the open. They're admitting, yeah, we ship in the drugs. Yeah, we run the terrorists. Yeah, we stage terror attacks. Yeah, we're poisoning your food and water. And we're sorry, like Hillary Clinton said 2 weeks ago with the syphilis. We're sorry. They're only sorry they got caught.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a question right now. Is it negative that I have published and linked to more than 20 Rockefeller Foundation documents where they admit they've weaponized your vaccines to soft kill you and your family? Is it negative to admit something that's already happening, or is it positive to expose these people?
Positive.
If I was to fall off this stage and get a compound fracture and break my leg, would it be positive, like all these faith healer preachers say, to just say my leg's healed? Or would it be positive to actually go get my leg fixed? Okay? Knowing the problem is half the battle.
Yeah.
You know, you see that Pentagon propaganda cartoon, but it actually takes an old Special Forces term from World War II with the airborne, that knowing is half the battle. Look, I don't have all the answers, but I'm here to tell you what I've discovered. You can check it all for yourself. And once you know that all is not well, once you know there's something rotten in the state of Denmark, the corruption is so limitless, I invite you to go discover it yourself. I invite you, if you've got the will and the courage, to go look at it for yourself. And then to decide what you are going to do about it, because it is a bottomless pit of evil. I am almost afraid to continue researching. I am almost afraid to continue looking into this information, because I've done a test. I can sit there at my house at midnight in front of my computer, and I can sickeningly envision the most evil thing I can imagine. And out of 6.5 billion people in governments, I can search that term and find it worse than I even envisioned. You understand that? The most horrible things you can imagine these people are doing. And they've only been able to get away with it because good people that want to help the old lady next door, who want to do good in business, who want to be fair, who enjoy being wholesome, we're seen as weak and stupid by these controllers. We're seen as chumps, as schmucks, to be controlled by them. And it's time that good people realize just how bad some people are and get wise to it and take these people down. We can do it together.
All right.
I've only covered one page, I got 3 more. Seriously, listen. I told them I was going to speak about 2.5 hours. They said, oh, we're here for 4 hours. Do you guys want me to go to question and answer, or you want to go for another hour?
Another hour. Keep going. Keep going. Keep talking.
Keep going?
Yes.
I think I hear about 790 keep going, about 10 go to questions. I tell you what, we'll make a compromise here. I will go for 30 more minutes, and then I'll take about 30 minutes of questions. How's that sound? Maybe not. Look, you've all got to ask yourself the question. A lot of you have done your own research. A lot of people listen to my show. They take my challenge to check stuff out. They think I'm a kook. Then they go to the research, and they go, oh my goodness, this guy wasn't joking around. The costs are so high that I just want to, before I get into this other information, I want to do what I've been doing all night. I want to challenge you again to realize just how special and important every single human life is, and just how beautiful and wonderful each individual is. From birth, we are set in front of televisions in our crap-filled diapers. to basically be dumbed down and to be put into a state of fear and to be taught how worthless we are. Why do you think the social engineers teach you you're worthless? Because they know the truth. They're scared of you. A lot of people think of themselves as this little measly person who's powerless. But your soul, your intellect is powerful. And a good person compared to evil, an evil person is like a chicken-necked, 1-foot-tall, wart-covered goblin compared to a 10,000-foot bronze giant.
Great.
And it's time for people to understand that and to really ask yourselves, in this limited short life we have, in this amazing blessing that is consciousness, are we going to be active participants engaging corruption? And that's what's so wonderful when I do have events like this, to actually have a chance to interface with all of you. I mean, I can feel the energy, I can feel the love, I can feel the liberty, and I can sense and feel people who aren't cowards and who are not afraid to face the facts, people that don't lie to themselves, people who are not delusional, people who don't sit there like so much of the public and think they can make their own reality and buy into whatever snake oil they want. It is so good to be here with you tonight.
Yeah. All right.
Of notes here, and I'm just going to start going through these points. You know, I wrote this up at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, as I usually do when I give a speech, points and issues I wanted to get into. One of the big ones is just basic control, how the globalists control us, and the process we're in right now, from converting to a quasi-free society to the greatest surveillance police state society the world has ever seen. And the first big issue is they're training us that everyone is a criminal, except government. Everyone has no privacy except the government and corporations. No one has any dignity but the corporations and the system. And that's a lie. And things that were unthinkable 10 years ago are now out in the open. We see these TV ads all over the country about kids, tattle on your parents, spy on them. It's the right thing to do. The Boy Scouts are training to take on disgruntled veterans. Isn't it great? They got a drill with a Explorer Club, the Yugen, took out 10 veterans who wouldn't turn their guns in. New York Times. I mean, this type of stuff is right out there in the open. And they're taking the public, the police, everybody, and just slowly acclimating us to accept it. And, I'll tell a story here in my notes. I flew in Friday night, and our plane was delayed, so I got here about 11 o'clock at night in San Francisco. And, well, first off, I was in Austin, and we get there, and I go through the checkpoint, and a couple of the TSA people are listeners, and I say, hey, how you doing? And I talk to one of them, and I say, they're about to put naked body scanners in here, and the government had lied about that and said, oh, there's no radiation dangers. Now they admit there are. And, oh, we don't save the naked images. Now they go, oh, we save them all. And it's going in your courthouse. Again, just lying. I mean, if your neighbor lied to you this much, why would you trust anything they said? But government doesn't, you trust them. So I went to the TSA people. Then our plane was delayed a couple hours. So I'm sitting there, and I watched these TSA guys, 3 of them, go around to all the gates, the 4 or 5 gates where I was at. And I watched them just randomly pick out, got to be an 85-year-old woman on a walker. That's Al-Qaeda. Swab her and do all this. And then I watched them search other people, and I watched them laughing. These TSA guys, 6, 7 years ago, were taking it serious. They knew this was a complete joke. I mean, they knew. They knew that there weren't any terrorists. There wasn't anybody trying to blow up the plane in Austin, Texas. They knew this was a joke. And I actually went over and talked to some of them, and they didn't know who I was, that group, but they were like, yeah, we're just doing our job. But the issue is, the fact is, 5, 6 years ago, I got irritated by being searched. You know what's scary?
Mr. Stinky Feet.
Yeah, I'll tell Mr. Stinky Feet if you want. I'll tell you what's scary, is that now, and even Alex Jones, who's conscious of all their manipulation. No, I'm not. I'm just like everybody else. I'm powerful, but I'm also weak. It's a mix of that. It's like walking the dog now. It's like getting the mail out of the mailbox, to take my shoes off, to take my belt off, and submit to all of this. And that's what the system's doing. It's acclimating all of us to accept the equivalent of going into gas chambers. What do they do with the gas chambers? Or running people into pits in Russia or Germany before they kill them. Take your shoes off, take your stuff off, take your belt off.